What industry are you glad that millennials are killing? Cable TV. Docu and commercials and forcing me to buy $100 cable packages. I will watch my shows on demand online until you die. With Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Amazon, Disney and probably many more. I fear internet streaming is actually going to go in the same direction as TV packages. I fear that we'll have to choose streaming packages to be able to get all the content we want. Telephone books. Why are they still sending me one every year? I don't even own a fireplace. We're killing a lot of stupid things to make room for better stupid things. Seriously. I mean, at first the replacements will be great. But then eventually they're going to suck and they'll die off too. Someone in this thread mentioned taxes. Maybe taxes used to be awesome, but for the most part they suck now. I think a huge amount of millennials switched to apps like Uber and Lyft because they are far superior to taxes, for now. Eventually we're going to complete the circle, and in a generation or two, maybe not even that long, they're gonna think WTF were our parents thinking for using this sheet. Itty microwave restaurants. Applebee's, Chili's, TGI Fridays, Macaroni Grill, etc. One of the consequences of having less money than previous generations is the desire to only spend money on worthwhile things. People don't seem to understand that mediocrity is a luxury. If you have limited funds, you sure as shit don't spend $20 on microwave dinners served in a loud family environment. People always cheat on Chili's, but I personally have never had an issue with it. Granted, I only ever go TP1 Chili's, so maybe it's just a really nicely run Chili's. I love their chips and salsa, and most of their meals are pretty good imo. Maybe I just got the good Chili's lol. Any industry or business that can be held by millennials deserves it. It's not even on purpose. Expensive shit physically cannot be marketed to those with thousands in debt already. The wedding industry. It's nice to see millennials opting to travel and focus on their careers before deciding to get married. I also love the fact that a lot of millennials are opting for weddings that don't cost them a fortune. That's cause none of us can afford them. Taxis. Seriously. I've met some nice ones. But most of the taxi drivers I've ridden with in the past 5 years didn't know directions, refused to take credit card, or were just plain rude. I'll take an Uber driver with a nice car over that any day. I had a driver ask my friend and I if we would steal a bunch of firewood for him. Didn't even comp the ride. I think I count, just turned 29, need to hill bullshit music venue ticket surcharges. Convenience fee. Delivery method, email, £1.50. Can we please hill tipping? How about companies pay their own damn employees? I'm not saying don't tip for you service industry warriors lighting your torches. Seriously. Tipping was meant to be a personal gesture. Not something that is now expected because some asshole chains would prefer not to pay employees a living wage. To be honest, this is mostly us. Here in Europe we tip a fraction of what is considered okay in the US. We used to call it innovation and the advancement of technology. Now we say it's held by millennials. I think it is a little ironic. Because media blasts millennials for lack of responsibility and commitment. Here we see industries failing to take responsibility and put in the commitment to stay with the times and offer what customers want. Diamond engagement rings that cost a quarter of your annual salary. I'm an unengaged woman. But I swear to shit, if my boyfriend proposed to me with a ring that cost over 10 grand, I would probably say no on account of that money going to such a stupid place. We could go traveling for half a year with that. We could have a Gomez honeymoon. We could have a Domino's every week for about 9 years. Or it could sit on my finger and stop men trying to chat me up. My RBF already does that. Thank you. It's been said already, but the diamond industry is one that doesn't actually deserve to survive. Sorry to all of the people with legitimate jobs there who aren't rich and will need to find employment after. But diamonds don't have any intrinsic value, and if you look down on me for not spending 6 months' salary on an engagement ring, I'll look down on you for either being a greedy money-grabbing corporate suit, or I'll look down on you for being horrible with finances. Agreed. Except that diamonds do have intrinsic value. They are exceptionally hard. This makes them useful for various industrial applications. Television. Hopefully. After not having a TV for about 6 years, my mom gave me her old one that she doesn't use anymore, and I was amazed by all the terrible sludge on there. I'm not even talking about bad sitcoms. I'm talking about the overwhelming amount of content that's obviously made for gullible older people. Like DR. Wasn't those news segments that are like new dangerous teen fad or this technology could actually heal you. Stuff that's been circulating around the internet for months or even years and has usually been disproven. Of course, a lot of stuff on the internet is trash too, but there are alternatives to the trash. Anybody can post. You don't have to have a contract with some TV station to get your work out there. Hooters. Not because I'm offended by the waitress dress code or anything, but the food is terrible. Those are the ittiest wings I've ever eaten, and the rest of their food is gross too. I got boneless hot wings. I just wanted a snack. I usually order regular wings before you insult me for ordering basically nuggets. They were bad to middling every time. A few months ago, there was no effing chicken in them. They were fried to sheep chicken jerky bits covered with bread and brushed with the skimpiest amount of sauce. I was pregnant AF, so I wanted to cry. They are way overpriced to boot. Black. Edit. I've had the actual wings many times. I've been quite a bit because co-workers want to go, and it's my godson's. He's 23. Favorite place. This was an example of the last time I went, and they are called ducking boneless wings on the goddamn Hooters menu. Relax. Point is, millennials aren't eating there, and good for them. It isn't mostly killing the industry, more like it's revolutionizing it, and of course it for the better. Ease of access. Faster. Productive and all-round modernization of old concepts. Many of which are mentioned in this thread. Fabric softener. I didn't even know it was a thing until I heard it advertised on US TV, so it goes to show how useless it must be. Most of them. Until we figure out a way to give millennials a fair wage, affordable education, and the ability to have expendable income, they will call all the industries. Maybe some of that wealth will finally trickle down. I ducking hate the term millennial. I don't hate it, but I hate that it's become derogatory. Marriage, baby, divorce industry. Millennials are the first to understand that they have a choice and that going through the marriage, child, divorce route and its respective business is optional. With that being said, not every married person gets divorced, and not every millennial chooses to remain single, obviously. But having a choice over these is damaging this chain of industries. Coal. I feel bad for all the workers who aren't getting pensions or who have no work because there's nothing but coal anywhere near them, but that industry needs to stop. I live in a county that mainly focuses on tourism, so the air is fresh and clean. One county over has a coal mine, and the air is always tinged with that wonderful smell that's like when you fire up your furnace for the first time at the beginning of winter. Blockbuster. Duck your stupid business model and your late fees and asking me to rewind the damn movie for you before I bring it back. See you in hell. Blockbuster. It's sort of a fledgling industry, but I hope millennials heal it before it becomes too big. Streaming services. Netflix is killing cable, but now everyone thinks they can start their own overpriced streaming service to compensate. Duck that shit. It's just new cable and is going to be even worse since millennials don't seem to give a shit about net neutrality. This means that if you want to keep streaming movies in HD, you're probably going to have to pay twice as much for your internet, which cable companies conveniently own. So you wanna drop cable TV? Well, you're going to have to pay $5.99 a month for the streaming service of each network that's going to pull their shit from Netflix and Hulu. The mainstream news. More and more people are turning to people like Phil DeFranco. People who just lay the facts out in the most objective way it is possible. From Fox News to CNN, the mainstream media seems to just be teeming with liars and agenda pushers. It just depends how you want the narrative to be spun. And before you slander me, a Trump supporter, don't tell me the mainstream media is more honest than Phil DeFranco. You simply can't make that argument. The Australian taxi service. This thing is atrocious. The diamond industry. Firstly, you've got the whole blood diamond issue, but who wants diamonds anyway? They're rare because the companies that own the mines will only release a certain number of them each year to keep their value artificially high. Duck diamonds. Makes me so angry that people can justify spending more than the cost of a house on a bit of sparkly sparkle. WHO gives a shit. Dealerships. Hopefully, Tesla sets an example for other vehicle manufacturers and cut out the middleman. The price on the lot is at least 2 or 3 times higher for the average family, non-flashy vehicle. Is it really that we're killing that industry? Is this not just capitalism and the market economy at work? Yes. 110%. We may as well blame the previous generation for sending all VCR repairmen out of a job too while we're at it. Them and their gosh darn DVDs. All industries evolve as technology grows and greater forms of convenience appear. My parents use Uber and Lyft about as frequently as people in their 20s and 30s. It's not just millennials. It's the world changing. Sugary cereal. Sugary yogurt. Apparently millennials don't buy Yoplait yogurt and they've finally had to rethink what they offer, i.e. more protein. Less sugar. It'll take a long time for over-sugary things to die out, as food companies have pushed too much sugar into things for years and years. But the reign of sugar does seem to be eroding somewhat. At least in processed foods. Chain restaurants like Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Chili's, etc. The duck outta here with your shitty food. Boomer food. Magazines who produce articles about what industries millennials are killing. I honestly have no idea how celebrity gossip magazines stay in business. Like, I guess I could understand being interested in celebrity gossip if it's true. But half of these magazines will just outright lie. Maybe Kim Kardashian did just walk out, can I? But you would never know if when it really happens because the magazines say it every week.